wholeness, peace, health, and an abundance of resources in my Telegram channel. Join for free. Link is in the description. Enjoy the video. Today we're going to keep discussing leading versus controlling, giving to others, feeling like a loss, feeling like we never have enough even though we do. Are we valuing our voice or following someone else's rules? Feeling taken advantage of, feeling successful yet lonely, feeling powerless in systems claiming to support us, feeling responsible for everything, that if we step back it will fall apart, feeling like we have to lead because if we don't lead, no one will. If we don't lead and control things, fear of becoming irrelevant. And can we have real abundance without competition? How much of this resonates with you, and which ones? Feel free to drop questions, comments, your personal story, your feelings about any of these topics. Do you feel like you never have enough even when you do? Are you leading or controlling? Can you tell the difference? Does giving to others sometimes feel like a loss? Is your voice valued? Are you always following someone else's rules? How do you share what you have without being taken advantage of? Does success feel lonely? Do you feel powerless in systems that claim to support you? Do you feel that if you step back, everything will fall apart? Do you feel that if you step down from leading, no one else will lead? Do you feel if you don't lead and control, you become irrelevant? And is it possible to have real abundance without competition? Which one of these resonates with you? You can answer. You can tell a story about your life. You can ask a question about specifics that I will give an answer for. And we can talk about this. And then we're going to unpack some practical ways for all this. Now recognizing what I have and who I am. Give me 10 things, Rebecca, that you're grateful for in your life that you have right now. And please don't make it one message per thing. Make it 10 things in one message. Give me 10 things you're grateful for, Bex. And please make it one message. So for example, I'm grateful my legs are working. I'm grateful there's seasonal fruits around. I'm grateful I have good Wi-Fi every day. I'm grateful for the mulberry trees that I found that are now in season. I'm grateful for all the time and the space that I have to train my body, train my breath, train my mind. I'm grateful for all the support coming from all the people that I know through Insight Timer and all my clients, one-on-one clients, all the people that support me financially for the work that I do. The more I prosper others, the more others prosper me. The more others prosper me, the more I prosper others. I'm grateful for my healthy lungs, my healthy liver, my healthy spleen, pancreas, kidneys. I'm grateful for my strong heart giving me signals when I need to rest. Rebecca, I'm grateful for my house. I'm grateful for my job. I'm grateful for my son. I'm grateful for my garden. I'm grateful for still being alive. I'm grateful for finding Insight Timer. I am also grateful for finding Insight Timer. I'm grateful for finding your groups. I'm grateful for starting to dance again. I'm grateful for starting to sing. Yeah, you are as well. You're great. I'm grateful for my clients as well. Beautiful, Rebecca. How do you feel saying this? Say this out loud. All the stuff that you typed, the way that I said it, I am grateful for. Say it out loud. Welcome, VJR. Peacemaker in the family, absorbing everyone's negative energy. I feel beautiful saying it. You are beautiful, and I am beautiful, and VJR is beautiful. VJR, peacemaker in the family, everyone's negative energy. What would happen if you let things fall apart a little bit? Not to the point of allowing your kids to put fingers in electrical sockets. Not in that sense. But in a sense of kind of being like, take care of your own stuff a little bit. Can you tell your kids? How old are your kids? And what other family members are out there in your family? I can tell you it's okay to be selfish because we cannot help others if we are unhealthy. You cannot be the strong one all the time. Nobody can. I'm not. Oh wow, children 30, 34. They are well mature that you can tell them and like that you can tell them this is your responsibility. And they're probably used to having you take care of a lot of stuff. First and foremost, accept that there's a part of you that really wants to be selfish. And please confirm that now in the chat, that there's a part of VJR inside that is like, I want to be selfish for a change. My boy is 20 now and he has autism, so I still care a lot for him. I work with people with autism and neurodivergence and OCD and bipolar in a very special way. And I love to empower people that have been diagnosed with things as a disease instead of a superpower. And if people on the spectrum or neurodivergence, especially, have never been supported by people who understand them or been placed in environments where their superpowers can thrive, and this is what they are superheroes who have never been recognized as such. This is what I specialize in. Coaching projectors in human design and people who are very sensitive, deeply empathic. I want to develop self-care, says VJR. This is not what I asked you. Not what I asked you. Don't sugarcoat it. Don't try to be more holy than you are. We are holy just by being human. Write in the chat, I want to be selfish. Accept it. I want to be selfish. I want to go to Bali for a month, just drop everything and be on my own. How does that feel? How does it feel saying that? Listen, guys, there's so many things happening in the world which can be seen as infinitely worse than you saying, I want to be selfish. There's child trafficking, there's organ harvesting, there's sex trafficking, there's still slavery in parts of the world. There's people dropping bombs from drones from their coziness of their own mansions. There's manipulation over money. There's any kind of crime that you like. There are so many things that people are doing in this world that you're not even aware of, let alone of course, all the things that we are aware of. And then all the things that we have no idea. Children missing, money being laundered, money being corruptly, or just take the regular medical pharmaceutical system, the whole thing benefiting and profiting off of the disease and illness and death. There are so many things in this world, and we compare ourselves to holiness, and we don't want to say, I need space, I need time for myself. I'm going to listen to my instinct and my heart saying, we got to rest, we got to stop this now. Like in comparison to all of this that is actually going on in the world, are you unable to write, I want to be selfish? Do you think you're evil for writing that, BJR? I know it's not easy. The biggest energy drain for our souls and our self-love is going against our voice, and then going against our choice and our voice. Not, I should be doing this because I'm a mom. It's what society tells us. When you step into selfishness and self-love, there's a huge part of it that's gonna feel like you're doing something wrong. And you know what it is? It's actually the feeling of doing something right for the first time in your life. And it feels wrong because actually your entire life is wrong. And this feels wrong because it's the first right thing to do that you've ever done is self-love. Is telling yourself, I'm worthy and valuable. When you start living and you've been conditioned in a world that is here to kill you, then living is going to feel like dying. Everything is backwards, guys. Everything we have been told about health is not healthy. Everything we've been told about what kind of life is going to make you happy doesn't. It's all backwards. Things that we are told are going to fulfill us drain us. Everything is backwards. And when you start doing the things backwards, contrary, it feels wrong. And then it's much easier to go back and to say, nah, this guy is talking silly things. I'm gonna go back to my correct life and keep living it and telling myself it's correct. And I'm gonna hate myself every single day of it and lie to myself that I'm hating myself. Instead of loving myself and being uncomfortable writing it. I'm just gonna tell you right off the bat, you're not gonna change if you're unable to do this little uncomfortable thing. You're not gonna do the big uncomfortable thing. And I'm not here to give you blankets. I'm a bucket of ice water, guys. So if you want a blanket, you're in the wrong place. If you want a bucket of ice water, you're in the right place. So if you're absorbing everybody's negative energy, like VJR says, and if it's exhausting, if you don't change it, it's going to keep being exhausting and it's going to be uncomfortable. Is it uncomfortable? Why would you complain about it if it wasn't uncomfortable? So you got to pick what's uncomfortable. You want to choose my ice bucket and a new way of life? Or you're going to keep the old way of life and just keep being miserable, not loving yourself? There's always two types of pain. There is pain of growth, transformation, and uncertainty and new things, and the pain of voicing your voice, and the shaking and trembling of using your voice. And then there's a pain of things staying forever the same and living out the same day, day in and day out, hating ourselves. So there is pain, there's struggle, let's say. And there could be struggle of self-love and selfishness, where others will call you selfish when you say, I need time for myself, I need a break, I need a vacation, I don't have space for you now, I don't have infinite energy in a day, infinite clarity of mind. For everyone, I need some time for myself. And then others are not going to like it. And then if you make everybody happy, you bend, you lose yourself, then you hate yourself. The good thing is that if you become truly who you are, there's going to be 50% of people hating on that, and there's going to be 50% of people being okay with that. Or maybe it's going to be 80-20, or maybe it's going to be 90-10. However, if you hate yourself, VJR, you're still avoiding it. I'm not gonna. Write in the chat, I want to be selfish. Everything else, you're just tiptoeing around it. Being too good for this world, like we all are, all empaths. I'm also empathetic. Am I not? Do you think I'm not? Do you think I'm not a good person saying all of this? Do you think I'm not an empath? Do you think I can't feel other people's pain? Where do we want to struggle? Do we want to shake and struggle by saying, I want to be selfish, I want time for myself, I am capable of saying no to my loved ones in their face? No, I'm not going to do this for you. You know why? Because I will do this for you another time. And you don't get to decide. I get to decide. It's my life. I want to be selfish. And this is called enlightened selfishness, spiritual selfishness. Don't you think you're allowed because of all the stuff that you do? There we go, VJR. How does that feel? Deanna, I already am selfish. Nice. We cannot give anyone love if we are not filled with it. We cannot give anybody attention if we are not filled with it. You cannot actually give anybody anything. You can just be a reflection. You can just be a mirror. You need to be a certain frequency, and then that person is like, oh, I can be that as well. We can only be role models. We cannot give people energy. We can only remind them of their energy, and then they get energized from within. All energy is always within. And a person is either open and receptive to harmonization with others or not. And if they're not, you can squeeze yourself from a grape to a raisin in 5 minutes and they're gonna get nothing. It's only if they are open to resonance and harmony with another, and then you don't have to have any effort at all. You're just in your self-love, and they get reminded that they can be that. And that's why joy is growing when shared. Just like a candle lights another candle without losing its flame. And in that same sense, you are a role model for joy, and the other person is not accepting that. That's a clear indication that don't over try it. Don't overdo it to try and make somebody happy. You be happy. You be strong. You love yourself. And if they are in resonance, they will start doing that as well. We need to be strong and healthy for everybody. We need to be full of love that we give ourselves. And the more you do that for yourself, the more you actually do that for your family, your friends, your community, your business, and then the tribe, and then the collective humanity. Martyrdom is out of date forever. Martyrdom is out of date, guys. It is not sustainable. You're not actually doing somebody a favor, because that's enabling people. We need to be self-sustaining, sovereign creator beings. And when you say I take time moments to myself daily and during high stress moments, you need to love yourself so much that there are no high stress moments. That the moment that there is low stress moment, you are pivoting and maneuvering your way to how this is not going to escalate to a high stress moment. And if there are repeated high stress moments, you need to recognize that it's a pattern, and whose responsibility is it to make that pattern clearer and less of a pattern of a high stress moment. If it involves your husband, there's 50% of him involved. If it involves one of your kids, there's at least 50% of them involved. So make them confront the 50% as well. You need to have clean communication, clarity, and a clean energetic exchange with every single person in your life. It needs to be clean and clear. It needs to be clean and clear. It needs to be clean, clean, clean and clear. All relationships are 50-50. Do not go over your 50% and make people responsible for their 50%. It's the only way. Self-love is going to feel wrong because we are raised in a world where self-hate is the norm. The majority of the food you eat is not helping you. It's actually making you sick. The majority of jobs on this plane do not fulfill you spiritually or emotionally. The majority of environments that we live in are not healthy. The way we talk to each other is not healthy. The way we talk to ourselves in our minds is not healthy. The movies we watch, the big majority, is giving you ideas that are not good for you. The majority of the media is fear-based, scarcity-based. The governments, the health system, everything is backwards. And then when you love yourself, when you put yourself in a healthy environment, when you want to start eating healthy foods, when you want to start doing healthy movement, healthy daily exercise, when you want to honor your breath, when you want to honor your time, when you want to try and make people responsible for what they're doing, you start being the cold bucket. You start waking people up around you. Because suddenly you're going against everything, and everybody's like, what are you doing going against everything? Well, if everything is set up for self-hate, if you start doing self-love, it's going to feel wrong. Why? Because the whole life is backwards. And when you start living it forward, it's going to feel like backwards. Why? Because you're used to backwards. We are taught that backwards is forwards. But It's not. And it hurts at first. Of course it hurts at first. Let me repeat some of the questions for the topics we're talking about. Feeling like we're never enough. Are we truly leaders, or are we trying to control and manipulate? Can we tell the difference? Does giving to others feel like a loss? Is our voice valued? Are we always following someone else's rules? How do we share what we have without being taken advantage of? Does success feel lonely? Do we feel powerless in systems that claim to support us? Do we feel that if we step back, everything falls apart? Do we feel if we step down from leadership and responsibility, no one else will take it? Do we feel if we don't lead and control, we become irrelevant in our circles? And is it possible to have real abundance without competition? Practically speaking, how to practice clean and clear clarity and 50% responsibility. You say things you need to say. You address problems that are under the rug for years. You tell people, this is your job, this is my job. And you don't do the things that are not your job. And if the people that are responsible for that 50%, if things start crumbling, just look at them and like, I did my part, you did not do yours. Things fell apart. Guess whose fault is it? And then you see things crumble. And even if it's your husband, even if it's your kids, you gotta let people struggle a bit. Because if you've been struggling for them, when you stop struggling for them, then things are gonna be kind of breaking apart. And people need to feel that if they're not doing it, they're not gonna have it. It's one thing to be apathetic and not have empathy for people. I'm not speaking about that. A lot of people will get this wrong and think that I'm just on the other side of what you're going through. I'm a burnt out empath, taking responsibility for everything from everybody. And people get used to that. Unfortunately, people take for granted things over time. People take things for granted. And I was like that. And people in my vicinity are like that. And I guarantee there's places where you are like that as well. Until you lose those things. And then you're like, okay, this was actually my responsibility to be grateful for and to take action before I lose it. So, how to practice clarity? Well, you know which things are not your job. I know you do. I know you do. I'm not going to tell you stuff that you don't already know. How do you practice 50-50 responsibility? Well, you lower your responsibility from 100 to 50, and you expect other people that their responsibility goes from 0 to 50. Maybe not straight away from 100 to 50 and from 0 to 50, but slowly from 100 to 80-20, then to 70-30, then to 60-40, and then 50-50. If your kids are used to something that they should be doing themselves, you stop doing it. Maybe not every day, every other day. Anything that you can handle and that they can handle, God forbid, with their 30 and 34 years old, that there are more things that they need to be doing for their life or your husband. And I'm just saying this as if it's easy to do. It's not easy to do. Oh no, of course you know it's not easy to do. Because maybe you do that and you get divorced, and then what? Maybe you do that and you suddenly realize that your kids are not capable of living like in this life, in this world. And then what? And then it's up to you to choose. It's not always this extreme. Maybe it's not going to be a divorce. Maybe it's not going to be whatever will happen to your kids, or whatever will happen to you, or whatever backlash you're going to get. Maybe the result is amazing. Maybe everyone starts respecting you finally, and you start respecting yourself, and they can adapt, and maybe they adapt. This is also one of the outcomes, one of the possible outcomes. And I'm not telling you which one you're going to get, because I'm not a superhero in that sense. I can only give you options that you can value for yourself and which one is better. And you can work on both of those. And I'm not responsible if any of those happen or don't happen. I'm just here to give you options. Nothing else. I'm here to give you options that maybe you didn't see. And then it's up to you. A lot of people hear my options and they do nothing. And nothing changes. And that's fine. I'm not here to carry people. I'm here to guide to new choices. It's up to you whether you do it or not. Some practical ways to heal these questions that I spoke about. Redefining wealth. Write down everything that you have that's not money. What are we grateful for? Lists of grateful things in our life that are not money. What is abundance for you that is not money? Wisdom, time, connections, ideas, compassion. And a daily question for yourself. What do I have that I can serve someone else today without them depleting me? So, not having responsibility for other people because you feel you have to, or that you need to prove yourself, or that you need to be the savior of your family, the crux spine of your family. But what can I do for somebody else that is actually fun? Intentional speaking, conscious speech. Am I speaking from fear or from truth? And say I have and I am, not as a badge or a threat, but humble and generous. I have this or that. I am grateful for this or that. I am selfish, but humble and generous as well. I am both. Share resources deliberately. Choose one small way to distribute something each week. Give somebody a skill, a contact, a meal, or a tool. Also, if it's fun. Create an informal support circle with 2 to 3 people where mutual giving and abundance is normal. Examine power dynamics. Where in our lives do we shrink to avoid conflict? Or where do we dominate to avoid being vulnerable? Say no without guilt and yes without control. Reflect on your moral center. What values do you refuse to trade, even for success, even for acceptance of other people? There's got to be values in you that you are willing to be hated by anyone and everyone. There's got to be things inside of you, and it could be one thing, but it's got to be at least one thing that you are not going to be giving up. If your kids hate it, if your husband hates it, if I create lines hates it, if your grandma turns in her grave 360 somersaults, you're not gonna give it up. There's gotta be one thing inside you, one value that you are like, if everybody, every single person in this world, if every dog doesn't want to come near me when I'm in that, if every bird goes like, "Ugh, what is this?" And birds love everybody, or whatever other animal. There's got to be one thing inside you, at least one value, one part of your spine that you're not going to bend for anyone. It doesn't have to be a lot of things. There has to be one thing at least. One part of you, one archetype of you, one idea, one way of being, one thing in a day that is non-negotiable. One thing in a week that is non-negotiable. One thing you do for yourself that is non-negotiable. Not even if your kids are on fire. Your husband has a hose as well. And there's the tap over there. Some of these things are metaphors. I'm hoping you get them. I can only hope you can get things that I'm saying. I'm not going to break myself trying to explain myself too much. Those that resonate get the things that I'm saying very early on. And those of you that don't, you're already off the live. I guarantee it. Because that's the reality. And I can accept that. If you're still here, you're probably getting a lot of stuff. People that got triggered, they're already left. Maybe even reporting me. That happened a lot of times. I'm good with that. I know I speak truth. Meditate and ground into stillness before making leadership and financial decisions. Meditate and ground into these parts of your spine which you don't give up. Practice circular leadership. So wherever you have a business, a group project, or a family, rotate leadership roles. Give other people a voice to guide and to give their opinions on what should be done. Invite people to give you feedback, people that you didn't maybe consider before. And really consider it and think about it. Doesn't mean you have to actually make a choice based on it, but at least, listen to other perspectives like that. Transform scarcity narratives. And anytime you think there's not enough, also think, what if there is enough, just not in the form that I expect? So this ties into the first thing that I said. What are we grateful for that is not money? Or what if this thing is going to bring me opportunities instead of money? Or what if this thing is going to bring me new friends instead of money? Or what if this thing is going to bring me lessons that are difficult to swallow, like this whole life? And it's going to bring me something, just not in the form that I expect. Then unfollow media and content that feeds fear and insecurity and scarcity. Curate your mental input. Open up your channels of creativity. Be transparent in your communication, especially around money, plans, and expectations. Say out loud what you used to keep silent. Hidden power becomes distorted. Hidden power becomes distorted. Step down when called. Practice releasing control and responsibility. Step back once a week from something that is usually your responsibility and observe what burns. Where is my ego gripping out of fear of being irrelevant? What if we become irrelevant? What if we become not needed? Don't you wish for your kids or your husband to not need you? Maybe this is something that you need from trauma from childhood. I know that this has been my pain spot for my entire life, is I need to be needed. I need to be relevant. I need to be, because otherwise, are people going to love me if I'm not doing things for them? This has been my pain spot. It's probably yours as well, because the universe works in resonance, and you wouldn't be on this live if we didn't have a lot of things in common. I'm not a guru, guys. I am a guide. I am a therapist. I am a mentor. I am a coach. I am here to empower others. I'm also very, very human, very fallible, very prone to mistakes, and okay with my mistakes. Very imperfect, however perfect as well. Supreme intelligence, supreme healing, and also a huge fool and a child at certain things. Nowhere near complete and whole at the same time. I am wholeness. I'm not complete, as tomorrow is a new day. Tomorrow is going to add on to me, and tomorrow is going to shed from me, and I'm going to be a different person tomorrow. So I'm not complete in a sense that I'm finished. It's never finished. It's never finally. No, it's finally. And then tomorrow is another day, guys. You got to balance on that slack line once again. You got to learn to rebalance and meet yourself every day. Every day you're another being. And every day we die a bit, and every day we live from another place. How do we become immortal? By dying daily. You dance with death by accepting it every day. That there's a part of you that goes away and a part of you that arrives. The more you can step into that and embrace this cycle, the closer you are to actual physical immortality. Because spiritually, we're already immortal. Energetically, you're already immortal. It's about the physical keeping up with the pace of the energetic and the spiritual. And we can only do that by dying daily and being reborn daily. This life has been a big death for many of you, and for me, and a big rebirth for many of you, and for me. And it's symbolic because it's the full moon today. Exactly the time and place for this. Finally, diversify connection points. Build bridges across social, cultural, and professional lines. Abundance flows through diversity. So look at people from other walks of life, other races, other religions, and that they sound different. For example, do I have a prejudice about what a therapist looks like? Because you're looking at one now. Or what a coach, a life coach, guide, mentor looks like and sounds like. Because you're looking at one now. And maybe you had a predisposition about it's only supposed to look like this and be dressed like this and speak like that. And you can apply this in any sphere of your life. Somebody you're looking for somebody to babysit, or you're looking for somebody to do plumbing, or whatever it is. You're looking for new employees for your business. Whatever it is, treat every new relationship as a potential doorway, not a threat. The biggest trigger people in our life have the potential to be our best friends. And the most exciting things in your life ever, if you remember, started off with you being afraid and uncertain. And aren't surprises the most enjoyable things in life? Even when people jump out of darkness to say happy birthday and it's a crowd of people, the first feeling is ah! And then it's oh my god, guys, oh my god, you guys, oh my god, you guys. But the first feeling is your heart is in your heels. Your heart is out of this. Your heart is da-da-da-da-da-da, out of bounds. Home run. The ball is out of the stadium. Elvis has left the building. And then you're enjoying the surprise, enjoying the birthday party. Everything in life started with fear, guys. You cannot be brave unless you're terrified. Let that sink in. You cannot have courage unless you're shaking from terror first. Because it has to be one, or there's no one without the other. We can only be brave if we are afraid first. So, and then final for the abundance, control of relationships, responsibility in relationships, financial prosperity. What is abundance? What is wealth? What is it? And it's a lot of things outside of money. Shift from questioning life in a sense of what do I get from this to what can we become together? How is this evolving humanity? How is this evolving Earth? Because ultimately, what you are is a little sprout that the Earth sprouted. We are all like little flowers. We're all just little turtles. We're all just little turtles flowing. A turtle doesn't care what the other turtles think of it. It just cares whether I'm riding this current or where's my next current. When we share power, everyone rises. When we hoard power, we all lose. Healing happens when we recognize that leadership is not about control, it's about being a channel for collective abundance. Check the link in the description to find the website. Here you can find the link to join my free Telegram channel with a bunch of resources, insights, videos, PDFs, music, pictures, people. Then you got send email, inquiry, and connect via WhatsApp. These are all places and ways to get in touch with Root Lightheart. I create lines. There's a link to my free healing movement live class happening almost every day. Link to the YouTube channel. Then we got the introduction questions for everybody that is invited and interested in working with me with my guidance services, coaching, mentoring, and therapy and support. Questions: who am I? Who is my guidance for? Who is my guidance not suited for? What do we use from modalities? What can be done and how can individuals benefit? What can be done? How can relationships and marriages benefit, families and parenting, and then your beautiful children and their education and empowerment? There are 4 steps that I work with people. There's the free 15-minute discovery call. It's an initial contact to connect. There's a one-on-one 30-minute light in the dark clarity session. It's a fundamental session of human design. Then we got the 90-minute deep insightful session, one-on-one, individual, relationships, family, or tutoring the young ones. And then we got the clarity portal, which is 10 sessions of mentoring package for a full life revealing breakthrough, long-term mentoring, motivation, and clarity for a complete transformation. You can read all the descriptions on the website, and you got send email inquiry buttons where if you feel drawn, you can send me an email, and then we will see if you fit, if you are ready, if we resonate. You can click here for testimonials. After that, you got the audio courses. The basic course is free. You got intermediate, advanced, the I Ching deep dive, the projector masterclass, elemental balancing, and then you got bundles of discounted courses. Also, I forgot to mention the Clarity Portal, the 10 session mentoring package. There are special discounts if you're a projector type. After that, there's a link to get my new book, Elementary, a wisdom-filled guide for life explorers, recently published. And then there's the submit email contact form. Input your name, email, and what is your inquiry. Click submit. Then you got my Instagram, my Patreon, my YouTube, and Telegram. That is it. Peace, health, abundance, wholeness, prosperity, grounding, balance, clarity, courage, connection, choice, communication, compassion.